Okay, here we are. It is springtime and it is time to plant. But I'm faced with a huge challenge. This is my backyard garden and I've recently tilled the soil. That's my chicken over there, sunbathing and dust bathing. Recently tilled the soil because it was so compacted and nothing has been growing for the last 2 years. It's been just completely depleted. I'm not sure why it got so horribly depleted. I just know that I've grown using fertilizers, all organic, compost, my own compost that I build there in that corner. This is a plum tree here. I made this garden bed about 2 years ago, so it's okay. But nothing has been growing. But the bigger challenge is that we are currently under construction, almost done. This is new add-on on the house. But this is my grass right now. We have no grass. This is the grass where it was. All of that brown dirt is like construction sand and dirt. I don't know, but it's what was underneath here. And you see on this side of the garden, I had a circle keyhole garden right here. Where you see I have rhubarb coming up, which it's doing great. And there's asparagus over there, and some ferns have come back. No, I'm sorry, not fern, fennel. And there are actually some sunchokes there, Jerusalem artichoke as well coming up, which I need to move because I do not want them there. But part of this is covered with that same sand. That's an avocado tree that's probably dead. You know, but this is just what I'm dealing with. And so I am starting these videos now because I want to track what I'm doing, monitor my progress, and just have a journal of what's happening as it's happening, what I'm doing, and so on and so forth. So this is my backyard, the mess that it is. I have my seedlings hardening off over there. Luckily, I do also have somewhere else that I garden in a community garden space. I have 2 plots there, and so I'll be growing the majority of the things I'm growing there. And I think what I'm going to do this year is really amend my soil in the back. Let me go back over there and show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to amend the soil back there. I mean, this is really horrible. This is horrible, but this is reality. This is my reality right now. It's a happy time to be doing this renovation I've been waiting to do for so many years. What is that chicken? Oh, okay. I thought her head was in the ground, like an ostrich or whatever. But it's not. What is that noise you're making? But I mean, this is a pretty big space. I don't know how big it is. What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fence panels long. I think it's 6 feet. Or no, 8 feet between each panel. I don't know. I'll put it up on the screen if I can figure it out later. But I think it's somewhere around 30 feet by 8 feet or something like that. Whatever. It's not important really right now because there's nothing here. So hopefully I can get it together, figure this all out. There's 4 of them. I have 7 chickens and 4 of them here sunbathing and dust bathing. A couple of them are all over the yard trying to pick through whatever they can reach because there's so much stuff all over the place, all over the ground. I guess I'll do a little walkthrough of what is here now. I've had some slate here that was acting as a pathway. It's covered with soil. I've got to dig that out. slate, view of the slate. Original to the property is my lemon balm with a little bit of dog poop. So I've got to figure out how to get the dog, or keep the dog, out of here. I would like to put up a fence. The only poop that is welcome in my garden is the chicken poop. But only, of course, once it's been degraded a little, or decomposed a bit, you know. So, okay, here we have this corner here. I have my berries. I have blackberries, raspberries, currants, all in this area. There are some Jerusalem artichoke coming up here as well, which I also would like to eradicate. I tried last year. They used to be primarily in this corner. And so there are fewer in this corner, but a lot came up there, and I did not dig them up last year. And so they're still there, and also I didn't dig them up in the fall when I usually harvest, so they came back in multitude. So that's going to be a challenge. But this raspberry here, I think, is Tulamine raspberry. I think I have two varieties here. I don't remember the variety of the first one. They have not done very well. I'm not sure if it's because the soil is horrible or the variety is not so great. The raspberries have been very tiny, not giving me very much berries as it is. This area, of course, because of the fence, also gets a lot of shade in the early morning, but as you see right now, it's very sunny, and it will be sunny like this the rest of the afternoon. It is currently, about 2 o'clock. Over here I have blackberries. They are thornless blackberry, and they have been spreading. So I have another blackberry over here that needs to be moved. There's blackberries all in this area, which is supposed to be grass. I've got blackberries here, and I can tell the difference between the two varieties. I think one is Chester, and I can't remember the second one, but there are two different varieties of thornless blackberry. They are so good. So good. I have a video a couple of years back on Instagram, Shumimi's garden party, and it's shumimi.garden.party, that shows me tasting them with my kids. And it's like a race who's going to eat the most, because they're so good. When they're picked at the right time, they are so good. Anyway, I also have some heritage berries that I just bought, heritage raspberry, and I also have the fall gold raspberry that I'm going to plant on the other side of the yard, because I don't want them to cross with these red raspberries. This is a mulberry. This one is a dwarf variety. Let's see, I don't recall which one. I have two. This is just dwarf everbearing, and the other one is a Pakistani mulberry, and it looks like it's dead. So the problem I'm having with them, I wanted to keep them in the ground so that I can manage the height or the size of them better. At least I thought I could. But this one, recently this year, I tipped the pot over and it was attached. So basically the root grew through the bigger hole in the bottom and went into the native soil. And when I pulled it, it popped off. I basically broke a major root. So this one has struggled. It has broken last year a big piece. I don't remember how, but it broke, and so I had to cut it right here. So many berries were on it. But right now they're berries. These berries are very small. They taste great, but they're very small. I need to refresh, and what I want to do is take it out of the pot, add more soil, and lift it, like raise it up in the pot. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to try that, see how that works. There were a couple of blackberries growing in it. I pulled them out and put them here. One of them looks like it died. Maybe it'll come back. I've learned my lesson with blackberries. Those blackberries that I had, those two blackberries I have back there, I bought them. You know, this is a problem that a lot of us gardeners have, I'm sure. I'm not the only one. bought them, left them in the pot, never planted them, couldn't figure out where I wanted them. And then a year later, they were still in the pot. I thought they might have died, and I said, oh, let me just leave it. I watched it. I think it was actually in the pot for 2 years. I was going to throw it out. I was going to give up on it in the spring, and I think it was 2 years. So that third year, I was about to throw it away. I just kept on hoping and holding off, and then it sprouted. So I no longer worry about my blackberries. I just, like that one, it's fine if it doesn't make it, because honestly I have plenty to go around. This is another mulberry. This one is a Pakistani mulberry. Nothing is growing on it. I thought these buds were gonna open up, but they're like empty. They're so soft and crumbly. Look at that. Just popped right off. So clearly these are dead, but lo and behold, I don't know if I can find it in the view. There, it's sprouting at the lower end of the trunk. And this is not a grafted tree, so, or at least I don't think it is. But either way, that would not be below the graft, so that is still Pakistani mulberry sprouts coming off this base right here. I don't know if you can see that. See? Yeah, right there. Right there. Okay, this is my first video, so I'm getting used to how this all works. Anyway, my very favorite thing this spring, very favorite, this is my fig tree, and I've got Breba in the spring. Breba, I don't know, but I've got Breba, baby figs, that's the easy way to call it, baby figs in the spring. So the story behind this tree, oh my goodness, first of all, I went to buy this tree, found it in the little mom and pop nursery in my area. I got this tree, I think about maybe 5 or 6 years ago by now. No, more than that, because I think it was about 5 years old when I started threatening it because I saw in someone's video where they would talk to their plants and threaten the plants. So I threatened this fig tree, and I threatened the lilac over there because they hadn't flowered. The tree didn't fruit and the lilac hadn't flowered. And so I threatened it, and I told it, you're coming up. If you don't give me fruit, you are coming up. So the next year, it was the end of the season, and I said, oh, this thing didn't give me any fruit. So I started threatening it again and telling it, you disappointed me. You didn't give me any fruit. And I looked up in the very back corner of the tree. Let me see if I can find it. That one right there. I don't know if I'm pointing at it right because it's hard to see. But it was around there somewhere on the tree. And it was fully ripe and hanging over. And I did a double take. And I said, oh my God, I have a fig. I get so excited. I went and I picked the fig, and it was so good. It was one fig on the whole tree. The following year, I didn't see any figs on the tree. After a while, a little late in the season, I thought they weren't going to make it to ripening before the fall and winter set in, but they did. And I had several, but they came on late in the year. But this year, they are already forming. I would check and look at this thing and try to figure out where are the figs supposed to come out from, because this is the first fig tree I've ever grown. I actually bought another tree, and it had figs on it the first year when I brought it home, but I never put it in the ground again, because I have that horrible habit of buying things, have a whole idea all planned out in the store where I'm going to put everything, and then I get it home and it sits in the pot, and I don't remember what I thought I was going to do in the store. So when I get home, it sits around for who knows how long, and either doesn't get planted and dies, or it gets planted 2 to 3 years later. That's a horrible habit which I intend to eliminate. But that other fig had fruit on it the first year in a pot. So I don't know. I was so upset and so discouraged, but now I am so happy. This one, I believe fig grow on the second year. I don't know, but now I'm also concerned because this looks pretty dry. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a little research. There's several gardeners that I follow on YouTube that specialize in fig trees. Like, they grow so many figs in so many different ways, bring them in. I mean, I'm in zone 7, so, and I have it in this corner where I think it keeps enough heat, maybe not, from this fence, that it does well. It never dies all the way back in the winter. One year it did, which was the year before last. Or last year actually, it died back where the tips all died, but this year none of the tips died. So I had to trim it back a lot, but this year it's doing well. Okay, enough time spent on this fig tree. Right in front of me here, this little tree, looks like a little stump. It is a pawpaw. I have a lot of garbage from the construction. The guys work and sometimes they throw their trash everywhere. There's a blackberry coming up here that I also would like to move because it's competing with this. I bought 2 pawpaws because you do need one to pollinate the other. But the other one died, so I'm going to have to eventually get another one. But since this one is so young, well, it's actually not young, it's probably 3 or 4 years old, but struggling and small in this little pot, and also the pot needs to be topped off. The soil is low. I'm going to wait till it gets a little bit bigger, and I'll buy a bigger tree, once this one gets a little bit bigger. This over here is my pink lemonade tree, and this looks like one of the branches from the fig has died off, but it's sprouting a little bit lower on the branch. But this pink lemonade, it's got so many pink lemonade berries on it, or flowers. So hopefully we'll have some good luck with that. And then over here I have an apple tree that has 5 different apples on it. So here is my apple tree. It had such beautiful flowers on it. It has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, I'm not pointing at anything you can see, but this is horrible. But it's in such bad shape because I did not keep up with the program. But I'm going to let it do whatever it wants to do, and at the end of this season I am going to hard prune this baby and really try to get it to a shape that I want. Also, it was damaged a lot with the wet construction. You see that branch that broke off? I mean, that was a very promising branch. There is another branch coming off of that graft going in the other direction. I don't know if I would be able to turn it around. I don't think I would. I mean, it's so mature. But I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I think I just got a delivery. Woohoo! Oh, okay. So this apple tree was damaged when they came to pour the foundation. They broke through the fence to bring the cement in and broke off that branch in the process. This is another, actually the original currant plant down here. A lot of the branches dead because they broke it off, but it's also a very old bush. But it's sprouting new sprouts in the center here, and I have this one branch that I can easily snip off and put it in some soil or some water, and it will sprout. That's how I got the other bushes on the other side. I think there are 3 over there. I had 4, but one of them died. I think I dug around it and disturbed the roots too much, and it died. Did not come back. This is my chicken coop, which I'm ready to renovate as well because it's old. I never painted the door. You know, I just would like a better design, a more functional food for my needs. My chicken's needs are met pretty well, but to be able to store the feed would be great. But they love it. They're fine. This place is a mess. It's such a mess. Such a mess. I have a shade garden over here. Correction. I used to have a shade garden over here. A lot of work. I mean, look at this mess. Oh, that's my dogwood tree. My oak tree has been there forever. So much work that's gonna need to be done. I have an elderberry over here that's gonna also need to be moved because it gets too much shade here and it does not give me much fruit. Oh no, this piece is broken. I think it's broken, yeah. When they were doing the siding, I'm sure that's when it broke. I'll clip it and stick it in some soil and it should give me roots and essentially a new elderberry bush. I mean, it's still alive. A lot of the branches came off, you know, but it's still alive. That's what counts. I just need to move it so it gets a little bit more sun. Okay. In this area, we have a lot of these roses. It's a mini rose. It makes this tiny white rose flowers. They open for like 1 or 2 days and they shed their petals everywhere. It looks pretty. It's very invasive. I moved it over here. It just appeared in my yard. I didn't plant it. It just appeared. But what I do appreciate about it is that it makes rose hips. And so, although tiny, look at this little bee resting. I don't even know if it's in this. Yeah, there it is. It makes rose hips, tiny little rose hips. I saw one earlier today. Where did it go? Oh, sorry, bee. I didn't mean to disturb you. Here. So here's a tiny little rose hip. That's all dried up. Here's another one. Pull it off. So it's full of them in the fall. And so I collect them, you know, clean them up, dry them out, and then I might add them to tea. Here's my lilac. This lilac, this is its first year blooming. I have 2 of them. They came in the pack and I think I separated it into 2 plants. This one was always much smaller than the other one. A lot of the stems were broken in the process of construction again. But it's blooming and it smells amazing. The other plant was under the house or over there where the house did not exist before, or that part of the house did not exist. And so now it is here. You can recognize the leaves. It's not planted in the ground. And so you see a lot of it dying here. But I'm trying to keep watering it until I can. Are you following me? Please don't poop on the siding. I need to put them away because they're going to poop all over the siding. And I'm not sure whether this is usable or not, but I'd rather they not poop all over it. Oh boy. Well, this is my backyard and this is the state of my backyard right now. Oh, I didn't show the elderberries. Those are 2 elderberries right there. The one to the right. Should I zoom? Let me see if I zoom. The one to the right, this one, was in a pot. The little one that I just showed that's in the shade that one and this big one were purchased at the same time. It's a York elderberry and a John elderberry. I don't remember which one is which. They look exactly the same. The berries are exactly the same. So this one here was in a big tote because I wasn't sure where to put it, but I didn't want them to die, so I at least planted them in a giant tote. Well, not giant, but a big tote, probably a 5-gallon tote. And then 2 years ago, this one, the second one, just popped up. I guess it spread from the roots of the first one. Not sure. But ultimately, we never took the first one out of the tote. The plastic broke down. I pulled it away from the sides, made sure that the roots were under the soil, at least the ones that were in the tote, made sure that continued to be covered. Most of the roots grew into the ground. A lot of I removed as much of the plastic as I could, and it gives me amazing elderberries every year. And the second plant, I don't want to get rid of it because it also gives me humongous racks of elderberry. But let's see, what else didn't I show you guys? Let's see, that is a plum tree from North Carolina. It makes a red plum with a yellowish flesh. It's so sweet, so sweet. It tastes amazing, tastes so great. I was gifted it by a neighbor. Her father traveled up from North Carolina with the plums, and I think I planted the seed. And he told me that these trees are very prolific and that they grow in the wild down there everywhere. Like you'll find them on the side of the road. That's what I remember him telling me. But I planted it from seed. And actually, that's not the tree that I planted. The tree that I planted was more, let's see, over here in this area here, more in the middle of the yard. And it was really horribly affected by plum curculio, and the worms were in the fruit. The first year that it fruited, it was great. The fruit were great. There was no disease, nothing. And then every year after that, it was always infected, and every fruit was affected. So we had to get rid of it. So that's what I did. We cut it down, sacrificed it, and then this one popped up. About a couple of years later, it popped up with multiple stems at the bottom. So what I believe happened is it sprouted up from the roots of the original tree. Last year we pruned it to make it airy. I don't want it to get too tall, so I will be pruning it, keeping on top of it, because the original tree was too tall. But this one is fine. It bends over when it's loaded with fruit. And the flower display this year on this thing was amazing. So it has tons and tons of little tiny fruit forming right now. There you go, you see fruits forming here, little tiny pointy green growths with the flower on the end. Those are the fruit. I sprayed with horticultural oil before the flowers opened, when it was just the buds, and I sprayed everything. I sprayed the apple, the fig, I sprayed the grapevine. I didn't mention the grapevine. Grapevine, it looks like a bunch of twigs. I've never harvested any good grapes from my grapevine, but I sprayed everything with horticultural oil. Last year it worked well. I do have the clay, the white clay. Oh, what is it called again? I can't think of the name right now. But James Prigioni, fellow gardener in the New Jersey area, same zone 7, he talks about it a lot. And so I said, let me try that. like with everything else. I bought the sprayer to use specifically with that, and put it in my shed, and have not used it yet. The horticultural oil is easy to set up, easy to start, and I'm sure the clay is just as easy. But the first time is always a little bit, I guess, intimidating, if that's the right word. I'm not sure that I'm really intimidated by it, but something new. You have to learn how to do it. You want to do it correctly, so it just takes me a little bit more time. But I think I'm going to make sure to do it this year, because last year was the first year that this plum tree fruited, this newer sprout from the other old plum tree. So I'm not willing to risk getting plum crucial again. Last year the fruits were in abundance and most of them were good, and I did not consume any fruit or do anything with any fruit without cutting it open first and inspecting. But what will happen, one of these is bigger, this one is a little bit bigger. You can see it. Oh, it's so hard to tell what can be seen in this camera or not. Anyhow, that little fruit will have like a little ding in it, like a little blemish, like a spot. And that spot is where the bug lays its egg. And then, what is going on with that? And then the egg will, or the larva will hatch inside the fruit near the pit and start eating its way through the plum. By the time it's ready to be harvested, you've got a little worm in there, and it's so yucky, so disgusting to see that. So I think I'm going to try to do the clay to deter the plum crucial from finding this tree this year. Over here I have a Hinonmaki red gooseberry. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. Already. That's a gooseberry. It's so tiny. This thing is loaded with thorns. And boy, oh boy, picking this thing is so difficult, because these thorns are just sticking you left and right. This here is a wisteria vine. Beautiful, beautiful flowers. I can't stand it. I love the plant, love the flowers, but I hate the fact that it won't go away. I bought it several years ago, and I had it closer to the house over here, in this corner, and I wanted it to vine up from a pot. I didn't want to put it in the ground, but then I think it grew out of the pot into the ground. I dug it up, I eradicated it from that area, but then I put it over here in my garden. Don't know why. And I've dug it up not so many times. I haven't dug it up in several years, but I cut it back nowadays to keep it from getting too big. Okay, Chickie, I'm not going to do anything to you. But I need to stand in the shade. But I basically try to get rid of it, because long ago this area here was an herb patch. I had it sectioned off with bricks, and I was growing my mint here, my herbs, rosemary, thyme, all those herbs, and the wisteria. I don't remember if I planted it, I don't remember, but it showed up, and I dug it up, put some spray to kill it. It did not die. It just traveled over here and came up over here. And so this now is a wisteria bush in two places. I cut it back so that it doesn't get out of hand, but I really need for it to come out, and I want to move it over to the shed so that it can grow onto the shed, because I think that will look very pretty. Then it won't be in my way. It can get big and grow a huge trunk. But the wisteria should move from here to the side of the shed. That's my plan. And this is my poor persimmon tree. I'm pretty certain that it's dead. We moved it because of the construction. We thought we were going to be using a skid steer, and it was in a place where it would make it difficult to get that machine back here. But also, any deliveries we had would have been difficult to get it back here with the tree where it was. So we dug it up, but unfortunately, it split. So there's a split right here in the trunk, and the roots were cut way too short. I'm not the one who dug it. Well, we won't mention any names. And we won't blame, because, at least, while I'm upset that it might be dead, it's still pretty bendy. I don't know if I can revive it. Maybe I can take a cutting. Oh, Michelle, take a cutting and see what happens. Take a cutting and see. You never know, right? Okay, so we'll do that. I'll take a few cuttings to see, and I'll plant it back. I just pulled it out right now. It was in the compost bin. It was in a pot, and then a couple of days ago I put it in the compost bin because when I tried to move it in the pot, it just came right up out the pot. So obviously no roots settled in that pot while it was in there over the winter. But hopefully I can get something back. If not, I tried. I won't get anything if I don't try. But if anything, at least I have never tasted it. So I'm going to be actually missing the taste of the persimmon because I haven't had any of it yet. It hasn't fruited for me. It's fruited, but the fruit have not made it. They've all fallen off. Anybody know how to remedy that? Or maybe why that happens? I don't recall ever getting clear answers in the searches that I've done. That nasty bucket of water are my kitchen scraps that I've been sitting for a long time, and I just put them in the compost bin, and there was so much liquid in there that I poured most of it in the compost bin, but it looked so rich and it did not smell at all. Actually, it's been sitting so long that it has zero smell at all. So the liquid itself, I guess, whatever was forming the liquid, completely broken down, so there's no smell. Seems so odd, but you don't see any flies around it really. So anyway, I added water, and I left the bag in there because the bag had a lot of juices in it. So I'm gonna leave it like this, let it sit. Probably I need to get a bigger bucket, put it in the bucket, and that will be fertilizer. So my plan for this garden, I've already tilled it. I was trying to do no-till. I was trying to avoid tilling, but the soil was so compacted with the dog running around in here all the time, and me walking on it. I had a couple of planks in here to keep from stepping, but I don't know. This place is just horrible. It hasn't grown very well for me in a couple of years. My best year was 2018. 2020 was pretty good, but 2022, 23, 22 I don't really recall, but 23, 24 did not do well for me at all. I think 22 had to have been bad because that's when I found the garden, the community garden that I'm also growing in. That soil is horrible too. Ooh, child, that's a story for another day. That soil is horrible. It is sand, it is not soil. I've had my soil tested here from my backyard, and one of the services, I think I went to one of the compost give back events, and they had something about soil building and soil structure, and I got a great report for my soil. But it's not that great anymore. Nothing is growing well here. So I'm going to clean it up, remove all this debris, remove all the twigs, the big twigs. What I'm going to do is put down some blood meal, some bone meal, phosphate across the whole entire, just distribute it across the whole thing, not just in the holes. And then I don't think that I can get a big delivery of compost, and that's just so much work. And with the mess around here, it'll be very hard to get it back here. So I'm going to just take the compost that I can make, the chicken manure that I have sitting in the bucket for 2 years, and the other one I just collected a couple of weeks ago. Let that sit for a while, and I'll distribute that across. That should help a lot, put the organic matter back in the soil. But blood meal, bone meal, and what else can I do? I have some phosphate. I like to use the Espoma brand products. So I have some phosphate from Espoma, and organic phosphate. And I'll just put all the NPK I can put here organically, and compost. The chicken manure, I'm gonna make a great compost. I made a beautiful compost last year. I used that in the plantings that I did last year here. So I did get some decent growth last year, but not optimal. So I'm going to try to fortify the soil. So I'm trying to get it to a point where I don't have to constantly fertilize, that things are doing well because the soil is good. The soil is healthy and well. So we'll see. This is what's going on in my backyard. Hopefully the next few videos you'll see improvement, and I'll be happy and proud to show my garden, because right now I'm happy to show, but I'm not so proud. But I understand why it's like this. I know what's going on, and I'm gonna fix it, so it's okay. All right, let me show you what these chickens are feeding off of. That is Jerusalem artichoke. She found herself some Jerusalem artichoke. Go ahead, girl, eat it up. Oh, look, he's taking it from the base of the sprout. Oh, sorry, they're all girls. But yeah, that's a Jerusalem artichoke. Go ahead, eat it up. What, you don't want it? You eat it, yes, go ahead, eat it up. When I dig for these artichokes, she found one back there too. But when I dig for these artichokes, sorry to scare you, they are always at my feet, waiting to see what I pull out the ground. And these things are so tasty. I usually just saute them with some spices, butter and spices, in the pan. Let them brown, just like potato, really. And the chickens love it. So all of the ones that I pick up, usually when they start sprouting, they're not, I don't know, they just seem smaller somehow to me. Not that they get very big, but when they start sprouting, they kind of lose something, in my opinion. But I'm gonna dig them up. Even these over here, I'd rather they be behind the shed, because then they're not disturbing anything else that I would like to grow, and they're not such a nuisance. But the ones that I dig on the other side by the berries, I think I will dig those all up and give them to the chickens. Alright, that's my video. This is my first showing of my garden in its current state. Hopefully next time, my 2 green stalks I didn't talk about, but they're there.
Hopefully next time we'd have made a huge improvement in all the work that needs to be done, and things will be looking better. We'll have things in the ground, or maybe not, because I'm not ready for that just yet. My name is Michelle. Thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.